The arrival. Cade Rylan adjusted the collar of his diplomatic uniform as the shimmering spires of the Zalari capital came into view through the observation window of the star cruiser. Floating among misty clouds on platforms of anti-gravity tech older than human civilization itself, the city looked more like a dream than a real place. Cade had been chosen by the United Terran Confederacy as an ambassador to the Zalari Empire, an ancient, proud alien race with a reputation for aloofness and mystery. He had been extensively briefed. Do not offend the Zalari royalty. Show utmost respect to their traditions. Speak only when spoken to. Cade, a former military officer turned diplomat, had encountered dozens of alien cultures in his career. But nothing compared to the majesty of this moment, the honor of being the first human invited to the Zalari royal court. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he was woefully unprepared for what lay ahead. As the star cruiser docked at the floating palace, a group of Zalari attendants awaited him. They were tall and elegant, with silver-blue skin that shimmered subtly under the ambient light, and eyes like pools of molten sapphire. They wore flowing robes embroidered with metallic thread, and their hair, more like living fiber-optic strands, glowed faintly in hues of teal and violet. Among them was a figure who stood slightly apart, commanding attention. She wore a diadem of polished crystal on her brow, her long hair braided intricately. She had an aura of quiet authority. Princess Serafina, he realized instantly. She stepped forward. Ambassador Cade Rylan. Welcome to Zealer Prime, she said in flawless English, her voice like the ringing of distant bells. Cade bowed deeply. It is an honor to be here, Your Highness. She offered a slight smile, a rare expression among the Zalari, he was told, and gestured for him to follow. Thus began his stay at the royal court, a labyrinth of politics, secrets, and traditions unlike anything he had experienced before. Complications. Days turned into weeks. Cade learned quickly that the royal family was embroiled in a delicate crisis. A rival noble house was threatening rebellion, demanding a seat at the Council of Moons, the Zalari's highest ruling body. The emperor, a stern and aging monarch, was struggling to maintain unity. Cade's role, initially meant to be ceremonial, became more vital. His skills as a mediator were called upon. He advised subtly and carefully, offering strategies that had worked in human history, promoting compromise without weakness, dialogue without capitulation. Princess Serafina, assigned as his guide and liaison, spent long hours discussing court affairs with him. She was sharp, analytical, yet curious about humanity. Their conversations drifted from politics to art, to the nature of destiny, and even to more personal matters. He learned that Serafina was not merely a figurehead. She was a formidable strategist, deeply concerned about the empire's future. Yet she bore a private sadness. As the heir, she was expected to marry soon, to forge an alliance that would strengthen the throne. A marriage of duty, not love. One night, after a long day of negotiations with rebellious lords, Cade found himself walking the palace gardens with her under twin moons. The flowers glowed with their own bioluminescence, painting the paths with colors unknown to Earth. You do not see us as many humans do, Serafina said quietly. As cold, unfeeling beings. I see people, Cade replied, with hopes and burdens. Just like us. She turned to him, her sapphire eyes searching his face. You are different, Cade Rylan. For a heartbeat, time seemed to halt. Then dutifully she turned away. Come. We have an early meeting tomorrow. But that moment planted a seed. The turning point. Trouble struck when an assassination attempt nearly killed the emperor. A mechanical drone, disguised as a ceremonial gift, exploded during a private council. Cade, present by fortune and quick reflexes, shielded Serafina and tackled her out of harm's way, suffering minor injuries in the process. In the aftermath, suspicion tore through the court like wildfire. Cade found himself both celebrated and scrutinized, an outsider who had saved the princess, yet a convenient scapegoat for those seeking to sow division. During Cade's recovery, Serafina visited him frequently. Her mask of royal formality slipped further each time. They laughed, shared stories of their childhoods. His growing up in the gravity wells of Mars, hers training in the palace's ancient rites. One evening, she brought a small vial of glowing liquid. A traditional remedy, she said, made from the nectar of the Solaris bloom. It hastens healing. He drank it, trusting her completely. She stayed longer than usual that night, sitting by his side until sleep claimed him. By the time Cade returned to his duties, whispers filled the halls. The human ambassador and the princess. Too close. Dangerous. Scandalous. The emperor summoned Cade privately. "You have shown valor and wisdom, ambassador," he said, his voice heavy with age. "But the court sees more than your deeds. They see possibilities. And threats." Cade bowed his head. "I meant no dishonor, your majesty." The emperor studied him. "No dishonor yet. But know this. My daughter's heart is not a political pawn. If you win it, you must be prepared to face all that comes with it." Cade understood. The emperor was giving neither permission nor denial, only warning. Choice. The rebellion reached its boiling point. The rebel lords issued an ultimatum: abdicate key territories or face open war. The royal council met in emergency session. Tensions ran high. Cade proposed an unorthodox solution: a symbolic marriage between the royal family and one of the neutral noble houses, binding old factions together. Whispers spread. The obvious candidate for such a union was Serafina. But the neutral houses hesitated. No noble heir would be accepted without absolute loyalty. Then, in a moment that would ripple through history, Serafina stood before the council. "I have chosen my bondmate," she declared. Gasps filled the chamber. She turned, and before the assembly of nobles, counselors, and her own father, she extended her hand to Cade. Silence fell like a shroud. The emperor's expression was unreadable. Cade felt the weight of 1,000 eyes upon him. Slowly he rose. Heart pounding, he took her hand. The symbolism was undeniable. An alliance not just within Zalari society, but with humanity itself. Some counselors raged. Others saw opportunity. The rebels hesitated, uncertain how to react to this sudden, bold move. In the end, the emperor spoke. "So be it. Let this union be the foundation of a new era." The marriage. The weeks that followed were a blur. Human and Zalari traditions merged in a wedding ceremony unlike any in history. Cade wore ceremonial armor of woven starlight fibers. Serafina's gown shimmered with living crystal threads. They exchanged vows beneath the twin moons, with dignitaries from across the galaxy bearing witness. The alliance solidified the throne. Many rebels, seeing the strength of the united front, sued for peace. Cade became more than a guest. He became prince consort of the Zalari Empire, a living bridge between two civilizations. It was a position fraught with challenges, yet filled with profound meaning. And despite the political implications, at the heart of it was something simpler. Two souls who had found each other across the endless tapestry of stars.